Okay. Um, just confirm once you're able to see the screen clearly, okay? Is the screen visible? Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone to the orientation session for English 1 and 2. I'll just quickly go through, not taking too much time. We'll just run through what the course is about and what you can expect to learn in this. And then if you have any questions for us, maybe we can take that as well, okay? So for English 1, those of you are going to register for this course, what happened? What happened? Okay, I hope my voice is clear and you can hear everything properly. As long as that is fine, I think it should be okay. So for right, so for English 1, from week 1 through week 12, these are the topics that you're going to deal with. So if I have to sum up on this, I think the only thing that I must say is that this is more like a basic level course, right? So although like it is basic, it doesn't mean that we are going to do what you did in school or anything, right? So this is not going to be a repetition of that. In fact, we're going to make people look at language in a different way, right? So we're going to now look at it as a building block, not as an ABCD, but definitely, organization of language at the level of sounds, words, and then sentences, right? So there are several topics that we're going to deal with when we discuss about these things. So like you can see on screen, you have speech sounds and then parts of speech. When you come to words and phrases, you're going to definitely look at topics like stress, aspiration, and syllabification at a later point. All of these are included in the syllabus so that there is equal stress on both the formal aspect, which is the writing, reading aspects of the language, as well as the spoken aspect, right, which is like more conversational in nature. So the modules are distributed equally for the teaching and learning of all the 4 skills in any language, that is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So each component will have some contribution to make to all of these skills, right? And there's also, again, the grammar that you're going to see in all of these modules. And this is the same case for English 1 and 2. Most of the grammar components of the modules that you have on grammar, they're all based on the functional use of language, right? Rather than the one that you see in traditional grammar books. So every topic we deal with is something that is going to be useful to you in terms of language as a tool of communication, right? So that is one aspect of it. And then so that you have some additional training in speaking, we have also topics such as presentation and group discussion. And for writing, you have basics of writing, note making, business writing and essays, and also professional writing, right? So what you see in the lecture videos would be a theoretical aspect of all of them. And to give you some kind of an exercise in that, we have other sessions about which I'll talk in a while, right? So this is an overview of what English 1, the topics in English 1 would be, right? For English 2, from week 1 through week 12, you're going to have topics such as figures of speech and discourse markers. Now, most of these topics that you see on screen here they're all a bit, you would see the word advanced everywhere, right? So what we understand by advanced is that advanced functions of language, right? That's what we mean by advanced given there. So if you looked at, say, speaking and writing in the English fund to deal with more of, day-to-day activity in language, the topics that you have in English 2 is going to help you to work on more complex activities in language, right? Like, for example, if you take the aspect of writing, then we are looking at topics such as SOP, right? I hope some of you know what SOPs are. So if you have to secure an admission in a university, whether in India or abroad, say you want to apply for a PhD or you want to apply for a research course or say a master's course, usually you're asked to submit a statement of purpose or a statement of intent, right? All of these are advanced levels of writing where you have to make a proper argument while you write down your points, right? You have to story tell, you need to narrate your achievements, your research area, your area of expertise. So all of that requires you to have certain kinds of advanced writing skills. And even in speaking, for example, say interview, again, this is again an area of, application in language where your communication skills are tested mostly in the formal way, right? So all of them need to have, you need to have the ability to put together complex sentences together in both speech and writing, right? So the grammar components then in this English 2, right? The topics included for grammar and other topics, they are scheduled, they're put together in such a way that it can cater to your more complex needs in language use, right? So just run through the topics that you have. Now, for example, you have something like the sentence and clause. Now, this is a very basic part in advanced English, but then this is what you actually require to build what I've been talking about, whether that's the SOP or whether that's the interview, right? So this gives you like an introduction to how to construct such complex sentences in English, right? What does it mean to construct a complex sentence in English? Group discussions, interview, SOP, right? Punctuation is very important because when you're going to write down all these SOPs and all that, when a written document is submitted, there's more scrutiny on what you're doing. So topics like this become really important, right? Although most of us think that we know and we can manage this properly, when we go through the scripts, we feel that people actually haven't invested time in learning this. So we thought it would be nice to include this topic so that, people have some kind of first-hand experience in this. There's also topics in vocabulary, right? Because again, you require it for advanced writing skills, right? So put together, this would be the topics that you're going to deal with in English 2. Okay. Now I am going to talk to you about a few things, few additional sessions that we conduct for both English 1 and 2, right? For both the courses, we have additional sessions, which some of them are open to everyone. Some of them are restricted, right? The entry is restricted. I'll talk about all of them one by one. So on Wednesdays, usually, right, one of the days, usually it happens on Wednesdays. If there's a change in the time, then there'll definitely be an announcement about it. So in addition to this, either on Wednesdays or one of those weekdays, you will have a live session, and this would be moderated by the faculty, right? Professor Rajesh is going to be interacting with you. So in case you have any doubts with the video lectures, right, if there's a problem or if there's something that requires clarity, some concepts that you have not really understood, you can make it to the session and you can interact with him directly. You can seek clarification from the professor himself. And discussion forums definitely run for both the courses. For the English 2, they have a Discord. For your English 1, you'll have a Google group which runs as a discussion forum for you people. So usually the answers to the questions are provided there itself by one of the instructors. But in case there are questions that are not resolved or that's more complicated and you require more clarification, then we advise that you join the live session that happens once a week. And then you can, interact with the faculty directly, right? Whatever problems, whatever clarifications you have with the content or questions or concerns that you have with assignments, you can directly interact with the faculty, right? So this happens once a week. Every week you will have 1 hour session which would be moderated by the faculty, right? Now, quickly, I look at the additional programs for English 1. So the first one we have here, we call this the Read With Us session. So Read With Us is basically a virtual reading room, right? So if you read the adage that has come with the program on the screen, this is basically a virtual library for people, who cannot find time in their schedule, who cannot schedule, say, at least 1 hour of time period every day, or at least once in a week to read what they want, right? So if you think that your reading skills aren't great, or, you're not reading enough, you need to catch up on your reading, then please make use of this session. You can join the session, usually happens on Sundays. So no worries about, clashes with other timetables. So join the session. You either bring your own book, or for people who do not have a selection of book to work with, the team provides a list of books from which people can select and start reading, right? So for beginners who have no experience with reading, or for people who are seasoned readers, anyone can join the session. If you think that, otherwise it is difficult for you to get some time and schedule to work on such things, right? So this is basically that. Then comes Learn the Rope. Now, Learn the Rope, we have it for both English 1 and English 2. So Learn the Rope covers all the major topics of your modules, right? Week 1 to 12, whatever major topics are covered in the syllabus, this is taken up in the Learn the Rope session. So what you do is we have few worksheets. So we work out problems, right? So like, I think you have something called Solve with the Instructor or something for the other subjects, right? For the other courses. So this is something like that. So we have worksheets, we pick out a topic, and have worksheets that are prepared for each of these topics, and then we solve those questions together in the class, right? So that's what basically Learn the Rope is. And this we have for both English 1 and English 2, okay? Then workshops are a part of both the courses. English 1 has 3 workshops, one on presentation skills, then another one on group discussion, and then one on basic writing skills, right? So the dates and the criteria or the eligibility to join these workshops, whether it's an open mode, that is whether everyone can join, or whether only a handful of people or restricted audience can join, all of these information would be given to you through the announcements, right? There'll be an announcement made, and you'll be given the details of how and when each of this happens, right? So presentation skills, group discussion, and basic writing skills is what we have for English 1, right? So this is workshop mode, which means you'll have to join the session. How many days, how many hours each day, all of those would be again communicated to you in the announcement. So when you come to the workshop, some of them I think may have prerequisite, like they might ask you to read or write something before you actually join the session. Some of them are just open, right? You just come, you listen to the class, and then you'll have certain activities to do in the session itself, right? So this is about English 1 additional sessions. Then English 2, one of the main additional programs that we have here is the professional writing session. So this is usually going to be in the workshop mode. So we deal with 2 professional text document. One is the professional email writing, and the second is professional report writing, right? So this is what we do. So over a span of 4 + 4 days, which is a total of 8 sessions or 10 sessions each, we work on both professional emails and another 8 hours for professional emails, 8 hours for professional reports, right? So we conduct this again in a workshop mode, so that people can get some hands-on approach in writing. So this is usually done in the lecture demonstration mode. So there would be a 15 minutes of mini lesson for each of the aspect of writing of email or report on the given day. And then most of the time, which is maybe say an hour or so, is provided for the students to submit their work. The slides not visible really?
It's visible, Lida.
Okay. Please
Maybe,
check the connections at your end
yeah, yes.
in case it is not visible. Okay. Okay. All right. So read with us the same thing, right? So this is, like I mentioned, there are certain sessions that are open and certain sessions that are restricted. So read with us is an open session. This is open to both English 1 and 2, so anyone can join, right? Then comes workshops again. So in addition to professional writing, you also have the resume writing and interviews for English 2, slightly advanced because we already have presentation and group discussion for English 1. So for English 2 students, you have the resume writing and interviews, right? Like I said before, you will get a notification or an announcement regarding any prerequisites, if there are any, that is, the dates and the modus operandi, everything would be communicated to you via an email, right? Then comes the writing sessions, additional sessions for English 2. So please note that the writing sessions are only for the English 2 students, right? Because in the basic level, we do not really push people to come through that, since the topics that are associated with writing is mostly found in English 2. All the additional sessions in writing is basically accumulated in the English 2 course. So improve your writing is one such additional session. So you would be provided with a prompt, right, for every week. And based on the prompts given to you, you can submit your work, your assignment, whatever you have written. You can submit it to the team and the team provides you feedback. I'll show you a sample of how this works in the next slide. But the basic thing is your task is basically to respond to the prompt, right? The prompt would be given to you through an announcement. You can make a submission after having read through, and then you also get an extensive feedback on what you've written. Same goes for Speak With Us. Again, they give you a prompt. You need to record your sample, your answer, and then send it back to the team, upload it. And for that as well, you'll get a feedback, right? Yeah, here's your, this is a sample of how the feedback section works. So like you can see, this is a very extensive feedback, right? So every aspect of what matters while you speak and write is commented upon by the evaluator, and you're given suggestions on how to improve all of these, right? So this is how it would look like. So you'll get a response and a feedback for each of the work that you submit, okay? And before I forget to mention, none of these are graded. Okay, so all the additional sessions, both for English 1 and 2, this is basically your choice. If you think you need improvement on any of these aspects, then you can make use of these sessions. But they're not compulsory sessions and they're not graded. Okay, nothing that you do here would be counted towards your grading. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the last one here, I think what we have is conversational practice. Conversational practice is a restricted session, so it is not open to everyone, right? If you think this is mostly targeting, this is targeted at students who find it difficult to speak in English, and especially the ones who do not have anyone to use the language in the neighborhood, right? Some of us come from, say, hinterlands, very rural parts where the language of the society or the neighborhoods that you live is not English, right? If you're from a city, then it's a different story. You get a chance to use it way more than, others. So if you come from, say, a small town where it is not used as much and because of which you are not able to improve your language, then this is a session which helps you, which boosts that particular part, right? Which is, there is an instructor who joins the session, right? So you can interact with the instructors and the other people who join the session, and there would be a topic, or there should be some video or some article which is shared with you. You read it, you either discuss it or you write something about it, you talk to each other, right? So basically you get a partner to speak with, right? This is more like a face-to-face. If the videos are on, then face-to-face. If not, it's like a telephonic conversation where you talk to each other, right? Whatever the case is, whatever the medium is, whether you see each other or not, you basically get a partner with whom you can communicate and improve on your language, right? So this scheme is basically for that. This particular session is that. is to address actually the ones who might find it difficult to get a partner to speak with, right? And this is a restricted session, so which means not everybody will get an access to this. Only if we feel like, so you can write to the team about this. The details of that again, you will get through an announcement. You write to that instructor concerned, and they'll ask you to submit a sample based on their evaluation of whether you actually need it or not. You'll get an invitation, right, to join the link. So everyone who writes may also not get an access, right? Only when the team verifies the need and the requirement of the student, you will get a reply from them, right? So it's a very small group, because a large group will not serve anybody's cause when it's a session like this, okay? So what you see here is feedback. These are feedback from some of our former students who have taken active part in the conversation practice. Most of them were quite satisfied, it provided them with the confidence to begin with, to talk more and to talk more with clarity. That is more important. So we could see visible changes, and more than us, they could see visible changes in them after they have attended these sessions. So just for your reference and to your knowledge, we've put the feedback from these students as well, right? Okay, I think that's all from our end. If you have any questions for us, please ask us. Aishwarya, do you have anything to add from your side? If I have missed anything?
No, Leda, you have covered everything.
Okay. So which means we are waiting for your questions. So in case you people have any questions, please go ahead and ask them, anything with respect to the content or anything with respect to the sessions, right? The additional sessions. If you have any, you may go ahead and ask them now. English 2 syllabus, yeah, okay. We did scroll through. Maybe you were late. Okay, so this is the English 2 syllabus, okay. Is it necessary to make notes? It would be nice if you can make notes, because it won't be advisable that you get back to the lecture every now and then, right? And if you're eager to know about how the questions would be like, then yes, we do take a special care to ask questions that are from the lectures. So it's good that you have notes. For some of the topics, I think mostly the ones which are not non-practical, something, that may not be extensively covered in the graded assignments, right? For grammar and all, if you know the concept, you are well and fine. But, topics such as these, right? Like communication and writing, writing an SOP, interview. So it is better if you have watched the whole lecture, because the questions may come from any part. So the question could be theoretical, the question could be an application question based on the theory that was mentioned in the lecture. So, of course, a good idea would be to take down, make a note of all of those. Make notes. It won't be, it will help you. Definitely, it won't hurt you. It's going to only help you. Necessary part you need to figure out, Govinda. Okay, it depends on how you work, right? If you're okay by just listening to the lectures, and if you can grasp it that way, then well and fine. If you're more comfortable with reading from your notes after having watched the lectures, then that works. Okay. Right. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Hello,
Go
ma'am.
ahead. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, for the English too, which let's say this recorded video lectures are the basic parts to someone go through it properly, listen and understand it properly.
Yeah.
And anything other than this, you can suggest to for the exam perspective or the general things there.
No, so syllabus that we design is also by keeping in mind that most of the people who come to us would be students, right? Like say UG level or PG level max, right? But if there's anything additionally that you're looking for, you can suggest it to us through, support channels. If we have a space to include them, then we'll definitely do that. Okay, but the syllabus remains the same. We don't make any changes to it because we need to adhere to different, certain guidelines to, set a syllabus. There are different bodies that decide on this, right? So
it's okay.
as of now, we won't make any change to the syllabus. But if there are something that we can do additionally, then you may send in your suggestions. We'll think about it and,
but
try and work around that.
okay.
Yeah.
So what are the video lectures and all that is more than enough to go through the course and get.
Yes. For your grading part, that should be more than enough.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And one more thing, ma'am, there. So
Yes.
there will be some practice questions and the some grading assignments will be,
Yes,
weekly assignments will be there.
Yes.
So other than this, there will be anything there need to be completed, or the grading assignments
No.
are the.
No, nothing. Just the grading assignments, which basically the ones that are counted for grading would be just the grading assignment. For
Okay,
your
that only.
practice, you have the set of practice questions, and then I think there's also one non-graded assignment. So all of those work only for the sake of practice. Only that one assignment that you have, which is the graded one, would be counted for the grading part. Okay.
Okay. And the mock test for the after every before the
Yes,
quiz
yes.
round.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. Right. Anybody? Any other questions? Let me quickly check the chat. Okay, nothing here. Anyone in the call who has any other questions for us?
Madam, any bonus marks will be getting for the
Bonus, I
non-graded
think I'm not sure about that. I think maybe mock test or something if it is counted. I don't know. Aishwarya, do you have any information on that?
I think
Yes,
as
it
per
is
the
based on mock test. Yeah.
Ah,
You can,
based on
it
the
will be
mock
mentioned in the grading document.
grading document. Yeah.
as per the grading is, I
Yes.
think
So
2
mock
marks
test.
there.
Mock test, yes,
Max.
they do count, but yes, correct. Okay. Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. If you have no questions, then I think we can close for today. So we'll meet soon once you've registered for the course and the program, right? So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I hope everything was clear and fine to you. Of course, if there are parts which were not clear or if you have confusions, you can definitely write to us at a later time. No problem with that. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. See you again.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.